friends, welcome back to my channel. Um, it is Tuesday, feels like Friday, Tuesday, December 31st, 2024. It is New Year's Eve, and I was doing a little bit of organizing. I was supposed to be working today, but you know, the week between Christmas and New Year's doesn't really count. No, I'll get back to doing some work a little bit later, but I was doing a little bit of thinking and organizing for kind of my rough plans for the new year, and I thought it would be a good time to turn the camera on and share at least my immediate plans and some of my plans for the rest of the year. Most of these are going to be pretty loose because what I have learned when it comes to me and my stitching, that I want to start things when I want to start them. I want to work on things when I want to work on them. And I don't really want to be tied too much to a schedule. But I've pulled out a lot of things that I really want to work on and stitch, and hopefully some finishes that I want to accomplish in 2025. And so I thought I'd come on and share those with you. First of all, thank you for all the really sweet comments and the new subscribers that came from my last video where I showed you all the finishes that I had in 2024. I thought maybe I would get another finish this week, but I did not have time. And I got a little bit distracted with some stitching, which I'll show you in a minute. But no additional finishes, which is perfectly fine with me. But hopefully when we move into 2025, stitching for the enjoyment of it, and if we have some finishes on top of that, fantastic. Right? So for 2025, I am once again going to use the planner from My Crazy Life Lori. She's on Etsy. And I know Colorado Cross Stitcher and maybe Evertotes, I could be wrong about that, we're selling these planners. I have no idea if they're still available, but hopefully you picked one up or got a book a days or whatever it is that you want to use. I loved this planner last year. The spiral and the, I don't know, the layout worked really well for me last year. I did lose focus with it later on in the year, but at least to get started, I have a new planner. So I've already started stickering up January and putting in a few things that I know I want to work on this month. Let's jump right in. To start tonight at 12:01 a.m. So on January 1st, right at the stroke of midnight, I would like to start my blessing sampler. So last year was the first year, my first year doing a blessing sampler. I really enjoyed it. I did a red sampler from GTR, which I showed you in my last video. And this year, I am going to do the sampler that was included in the Hands Across the Sea 2025 calendar. There is not an image of this, it's just the chart, but it is going to be just a simple red sampler. I really like it, and so that's going to be my blessing sampler that I'm going to start tonight, assuming I stay up. I am going to stitch it just on a 40 count white even weave, and I'm going to use OMG Red 1145 from Vicki Clayton. I just had this in my stash. Let's see if it'll focus. It's a little bit of a darker red, but I think it'll be pretty, and that's going to be my blessing sampler. Tomorrow on January 1st, I'm going to start the next in the Primrose Cottage minis. I started these in the 1st of July last year, so I've done July through December, so I need to do January through June. So I'll work on January tomorrow. There's not really, I'll cover up the chart. It's the little snowman. I'll be doing that on a 32 count vintage country mocha, and I think I have the called for DMC kitted up with that. Then looking through my charts, I decided that I'd like to do a new starts. I had a little bit of back and forth on what I wanted to do, and I finally settled on this Teresa Kogut and God Saw. Sorry for the glare. I don't know what it was about this one, but I think I might have seen it finished. And it's lovely. I haven't done a Teresa Kogut chart like this yet, and so we'll start it tomorrow and see how it goes and see how far I get this year. I don't imagine that that is one that I will put all my focus into, and probably won't be a 2025 finish, but who knows? I'm also doing another journey piece for my sampler guild. I've done one the last couple of years, and it has been a really big motivator for me to finish some pieces. And this year I have committed to finishing Matter in Hand by Jeanette Douglas. So here's the chart. I started this in June after StitchCon, and this is as far as I got. This is, I want to say it's 46 counts Dune by Atomic Ranch, I think. And I'm using the Vicki Clayton silks for this one. I had started it as a friend stitch with my friend Pam, and now it's going to be my journey piece, and I have committed to having it completed by the 1st of October. I'm hoping that I will have it done sooner than that, in time for StitchCon, but we'll see how that goes. Last year I had pulled 24 of my whips, and I was going to work on 24 whips in 2024. I finished 7 of those whips, and not everything got touched. But looking at that list and looking at them, they are still projects that I am excited to get back to, and ones that I want to finish. So I took the remaining 17 and I put them on a WhipGo board. This is in my planner. She had included this board for WhipGo. So there's some blank spaces for the 7 that I finished, and I'm kind of leaning towards just leaving those blank so that the months that those numbers are called, I will either only work on one thing or maybe not anything, and that'll give me some time to kind of play catch up, and we'll just see where that gets me. I don't expect that I will finish the rest of those 17 projects in 2025, but if I can at least pull them out and touch them and put a couple stitches into it, that'll make me feel like I've accomplished something. So Jessie Marie has already called the WhipGo numbers for January, and what was called for me was number 11, which was La-Di Da and Rudolph. I do think that this could be a 2025 finish. It's not a very big chart. And here is my current status. This is 40 count shiplap from Color and Cotton, and I'm using a Victoria Motto thread that it's a cotton thread that I had in my stash. But hopefully that will be a finish. I don't know if it'll be a finish in January, but sometime this year I would like for it to be a finish. The other number that was called was 20. And for me, it was, I have it on my board as Cardinal, but that's not the name of the chart. The name of the chart is Tis the Season. It's the big red cardinal from Blackbird Designs. This is in the Home for Holidays book, which I think they just reprinted, so I think this is available. It's, I mean, you can never go wrong with Blackbird. Right. Here's my current status on this. I don't know what this fabric is, but it's a 32 count. It's kind of a gray. And I had the Victoria Motto cottons. She sold a thread product at one time. I don't think she's even dyeing thread anymore. I could be wrong about that, but this is where I am. I don't know if this will be a finish. I would hope so, because it's not that big and I've loved it since I started it, and so I would really like to make some progress on it, and we'll just play it by ear and see where we get on it. Hopefully once I start stitching on it again, I'll get into a groove and push for a finish, but we'll see. I do have some whips that I want finished in 2025, so they're going to kind of be focus pieces as the year goes on. The first one is the floral motif sampler from the Scarlet House. This was my birthday start back in May of 2024, and here is my current progress. Hold on, my phone's ringing, so I don't know if that'll mess with the audio. I don't know if I can send it to voicemail. We'll see how that goes. Might have to edit that out. But here's my current progress on the floral motif sampler. I want this completed by at least by the 1st of May, because I would like to start another birthday piece, but I want this completed beforehand. And if I focus on it, it will. I worked on it a little bit this week. I started stitching that flower, the red flower. Is it focusing? But I love this. This is a 36 count. I don't know the color or the maker. And I am using the Vicky Clayton Silk Pack on that one as well. Assuming that I managed to finish floral motif by the 1st of May, my birthday is on the 25th, and I would like to start another Scarlet House. This is Sampler Dogs. I love this one. So I still need to kit it up, but hopefully I will find some great fabric and probably called for threads. Three more whips that I've pulled out that I would like finished early in 2025. The first is from Thy Needle and Thread, with Thy Needle and Thread. This is the Maker and the Mender. Every time I see this completed, I'm like, I gotta pull it out and work on it. And this is the year when this is gonna be done. This is my progress. I think this looks like a 36 count fabric, but I'm not sure what it is. And I believe I'm using the called for threads. But it's one that I would love to finish in 2025. Another is from Lindy Stitches, Beautiful Things. I have loved this chart since she released it. I started it and it has been lingering, and I want it to not linger anymore, and I want to make some progress on it. So here's where we're at. This is 32 count Maui from Color and Cotton, and I believe I'm using the called for DMC on it. But it's lovely and I would like to finish it. in 2025. Another that I pulled out is from Little Robin Designs. This is a sampler St. Ives. It's just a simple marking sampler, and I am stitching it on, I believe, 28 count fabric, which means I can see it almost, I don't want to say no matter what my light, but pretty much in any light I can see 28 count holes. So this is going to be a good travel piece, I think, and I'm traveling in January, so that's why this was pulled and is going to go with me. This is where I am. I'm not sure what this fabric is. I think it's a color and cotton, a 28 count, and I'm using the called for threads, which I believe are NPI. But that's one that should be finished, and I want it to be finished. Okay. Next, what I decided is that, one, I have a lot of charts from Plum Street Samplers, and I have a ton of charts from With a Needle and Thread. I love all of them, and all of them need to be finished. And so as I was kind of looking through those, a lot of them are series, especially Plum Street. Plum Street has a lot of series, and so I would like to stitch some of the series from them. And so from Plum Street, I would like to finish a few of the animal stackers. So I own a bunch of these. There's some I haven't purchased yet, but I'm willing and able to purchase. I'm going to start with Tortoise Tower. I'm going on vacation later this month, and this one is coming with me to hopefully make some progress on. And then after that, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I have any of them kitted up, so it'll just be a matter of going through and pulling them when the urge strikes. With a Needle, the series that I decided I want to finish and make some progress on is the Basketful. So I pulled and kitted Basketful of Springtime, and I have the others. There is an autumn, a summer, and a winter, all of which I would love to stitch. So this one is going to be first up in that whenever I get to it. Then thinking about series and going through my charts, there are a few more that I would like to at least get started and hopefully make some finishes on. First up is from Luminous Fiber Arts, her Gathering series. So here's Gathering Stitches. I think I have all of these. There's a bunch. There's Gathering Berries, Clover, Honey, I don't know what, Winter or Snow, something like that. They're all adorable. They all have these little birds. They're all relatively small. I pulled this one first because I have it kitted and I had actually started it. I took the tag off. I think this is one of Luminous Fiber Arts, one of her fabrics. This is 40 count, and I'm using the called for silk, which for this one was, hold on, Belsois Sister Scarlet. So we'll see how many of the Gathering pieces I can maybe get done this year. Another, I guess, series is from Primrose Cottage, the Quakers. I have loved every single Quaker. I think I've purchased all of them, and it is past time for me to start stitching them. So I pulled out Winter and Valentine's Day. I'm not sure which one I want to work on. I have both of them kitted, so one or the other of these is going to be worked on this month. I'm thinking winter, but we'll see what kind of mood I'm in when I get around to stitching them. Another series that a few years ago I was determined to stitch them all is the Hometown Holidays from Little House Needleworks. I forget, I don't know how many charts are in this series. There's a bunch. I have several of them and I've only finished one. The next one that I'm going to be working on is the Main Street Station, because I have this one kitted and started. Here is my progress on it. I was stitching these on 28 count Picture This Plus Dwarf Lugana with the what is that called? The iridescence. I don't think that's the right word. Whatever, it's got the sparkly stuff going through it. But that's where I am on Main Street Station. I also have the Needle Workshop kitted up. So my hope is that I can at least finish 2 of these this year. And then we'll see where we go after that. Next up is, I'm calling it the Chubby series. I don't even know if it's a series, but she has released, Jeanette Douglas has released several of these chubby animals. So I want to do Chubby Squirrel first. I'm a little bit obsessed with my squirrels at the moment. For Christmas, I was given one of those a birdhouse with a camera on it, so that I can watch the birds whenever I want to. And the squirrels, I've been feeding squirrels on my back deck for a while now, and so they're coming up into the camera, and I just think they're adorable. And I also have kitted up the chubby bird. I know that there is a chubby bunny and a chubby fox, and I don't know if there's any more, but at least those 4 I would like, and these 2 I would like to finish in 2025. Next up is the Stacy Nash Animal Crackers. I love the animal crackers, and I have yet to stitch one. And going through my stuff, I didn't even own any, which kind of surprised me a little bit. But at Jingle Ball, I had purchased Chili, and so I have kitted him up with all the called for. I got the fabric and the threads as called for, and he is kitted up and ready to be started. And then after I finish Chili, assuming I finish him, we'll see if I do another animal cracker this year. We'll just see what happens. Last year, I finished the Summer House Stitch Works Faith Pillow. I have Hope and Love kitted up. There's Love, and there's Hope. And I really loved stitching Faith, and so I would love to get one or both of those completed this year. Summer House also has a series that looks like this. I don't know what they're called. This is Spring Awakens. I know I have winter. I believe there's an autumn and a summer. But they seem like they would be really fun to stitch. And so I have kitted up spring, and hopefully it will be worked on and started in the next couple of months. And I think this is the last series one that I have kitted, and it is from Crocetta Go-Go. This is Spring Basket. I know that she has a spring basket, a winter basket. I'm really not sure about a summer and a fall, but if she hasn't released one, I'm sure she will. Is Crocetta Go-Go a she? I don't know. I think so. I don't know. Whatever. I love her designs. I love their designs, and that's one I would like to work on. I've pulled out 3 charts. These are kitted up and ready to go, and they are just ones that I love and that I would like to work on in 2025. The first was a unicorn for a long time. Birds of a feather. This is the Christmas angel ornaments. I want to do all 4 of these. So I have this kitted up with a 40 count white with all the called for threads. Now that Sherry from Colorado Cross Stitch is redoing the birds of a feather and releasing them, it's so enjoyable. So this is the one that I'm going to start with, and we'll see. I've purchased a couple of the birds of the feather charts from Colorado Cross Stitcher, and I would like to work on them because they are wonderful. She's doing a really great job redoing those charts and making them available to all of us so we don't have to be tempted to pay eBay prices, right? Another one that I have kitted up is from Puccini. This is Quiet Place. I saw this finished at the Garon Stitchery retreat back in the fall. I think it was on the brag table, and I immediately purchased and kitted because I loved it. It has been lingering in my stitch me soon pile. So 2025 it is. And another one kind of in the similar vein is from Blueberry Ridge. This is the House on Pear Hill. I just love those little pears at the bottom. It's only 133 by 96, so it looks daunting, but it's probably not that bad once you get going on it. So it's one I would like to start and work on this year. So next up, I went through my stack of samplers and I pulled out probably too many that I want to work on this year. At least start them and see where I get to. I have several more. I don't have any of my sister samplers in this stack, but they are in my kitted pile, and I love their samplers, so those will be. I just saw that one of the new ones that they're going to be releasing at Nashville Market, and it's already on my I need to purchase list. So samplers, can't go wrong. The first one up, though, that I have kitted and ready to start soon is Beloved from Running with Needle and Scissors. I know a lot of people have stitched this, but I have yet to start it, and I think it is beautiful, and I want to stitch the whole thing. Even that border. That looks a little bit intimidating, but one stitch at a time. Another one that I fell in love with at Market last year was from Jeanette Douglas. This is Needle Be True. I believe she's released, or she is releasing, a companion piece for this one. But I have loved it since I saw it, and I want to stitch it soon. Same with this one from Needlework Press. This is Phoebe Ann Bewee. Is that right? Phoebe Ann Bewee. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that wrong, right? But I have this kitted up and ready to be started. I don't think it'll take that long once you get going on it. I say that knowing how many whips I have. Another one that I saw finished somewhere, I don't think it was last year, I think it was a while ago, from Lila's Studio. This is Anna Oman. I just think it's beautiful. and would really like to stitch it. I have this kitted up with a piece of Victoria Motto thread in like a dark reddish color. I forget what fabric I pulled for that, but once I start it, I will show it in a future video. Another one is from Erica Michaels. This is Anna Funk. I am a sucker for brightly colored samplers, and this one is right up my alley. The threads for it are beautiful. I have it kitted up with the called for overdye cottons. I can't remember what fabric. I think I have Cedar River linen kitted with this, but it's probably going to be a January start because it's been tempting me for a few weeks now. And then just a couple more. Hands Across the Sea, Mary Wigglesworth. I don't have this one kitted yet. I can't decide. Vicki Clayton has a silk pack for it, and I can't decide if I want to go with that way or just get the 103s for it. But I think this is a beautiful sampler, and I would like to kit it and get it started sometime in 2025. And finally, from Erica Michaels, Constant Companion. If you've watched any of the attic videos in the last few months, I know they had stitched, and I think Jean had stitched and finished this one. I want to do the little one. Let's see if this one will show better. That one. I might call I don't have this one kitted up yet, so I might call the attic and see if I can get their silk conversion. And I think she did hers on 56 count, which I haven't stitched on 56 count really, so I don't know. I'll have to give that some thought. But that's it. That's all I've pulled to show you today. Kind of my immediate plans, you know, my blessing sampler. I'm going to start Teresa Coca and work on the Promote Cottage Mini tomorrow. So it'll be a busy day tomorrow, stitching wise. I'm hoping that I will be able to make it till midnight tonight and be able to at least start my blessing sampler. If not, it's not a big deal. I'll start it tomorrow. I don't force myself to stay up on New Year's Eve anymore. I don't, you know, I haven't been to a New Year's Eve party in a long time, so I'll just be home with the pups. I don't know. Scott's working today, and I don't know if he'll make it home in time for New Year's or not, so we'll see how that goes. If he's here, I don't know. He'll probably be asleep on the couch by the time the new year rolls around. But I hope that you all have a happy New Year's and get some stitching done. I want to see new year, new starts on Instagram and in people's Flosstube videos. And if you're doing a blessing sampler, let me know what you're working on. I did have a hard time choosing this year. When Nicola released her calendar, I was like, as soon as she said there was a blessing sampler included, I ordered it because I wanted her blessing sampler. But I know that the one from the Camping Stitcher is beautiful. My friend Pam, I think, is starting that one, and it's very, very tempting for me to start that one also. I don't know. Can you do more than one blessing sampler? You get double the blessings if you finish 2 in January. Is that even practical? I should just focus on one. Make sure I can get the one done this month. That's it. Happy New Year. I don't know when I'll be back again for another video. Probably not until the 1st of February. Like I said, I had some travel coming up this month, and a lot of work I need to get done. So that's that. Happy New Year.